with this club. If Arsenal win their games in hand, United will be 10 points away from the top four, and they haven't won a trophy yet again. Is there an argument that when you get to what you could say is the lowest point for this club in the last 5 or 6 seasons, that actually you can find the positives from that? You can use that as a reset. It can't get any worse than this.
I think they need a reset, yeah. I think they've got to stop chasing short-term success. You know, in terms of getting a manager, this one player, I thought they had a great window this summer. You know, you think about Varane, Ronaldo, Sancho, finishing second last year, you think, right, they're ready to take the next step. Didn't materialise, you know. It needs a reset. There's a lot of players out of contract that are leaving. Pogba, Cavani, Martial's future is up on Matic. There's a lot of guys, there's a lot of work to be done here, as we mentioned. So I think taking a step back, stop trying to chase Liverpool, Man City. They're in another category right now. They need to get a lot of stuff sorted out behind the scenes. As Scholes, you mentioned, get a great coach, get a sporting director, get the recruitment right. Who is it going to be? What type of player? What age? You look at Arsenal. They went, right, 24 and under. That's where we're going to go. And look, you know, it took a year in the where they want to be. I think United need to take a step back, start building from the ground up. There's good pieces here, as Scholes, you mentioned, but it needs a lot of work.
I think it makes it easier for him to choose someone. He'll know what type of character these players are. If he doesn't know them now, he'll never know them. And he'll know what kind of manager they need. Do they need a manager that they're going to be afraid of? A manager that'll scare him into performances? He should know that. He should be reading that. So, from that point of view, I think he's an ideal candidate to be a director and to choose the next man.
Do you know, like talking about fear and stuff like that, I don't know if there's any players that walk in the dressing room after that, or after the game against City, or the games we could mention where they haven't played well, walked down that tunnel and felt the way I'm sure the Liverpool players at the moment feel, the Chelsea players feel, the Man City players feel, the way we felt. Walking down that tunnel when you know you haven't played well. I remember when we conceded a goal here, Bellamy, he ran past me down the wing and scored. I tried to chip it over a player's head stupidly. Michael Owen scored. I celebrated that goal and was saying thank you, because I knew that going in that change room afterwards, I was going to get volleyed by the manager. He was going to go bananas. And I just walked in and said to the manager, thank you very much. Luckily, we won. I got away with it. But that's the type of fear.
Losing a game here is a crisis.
Yeah.
Losing 2 on the trot or something. Yeah. It's
illegal.
An absolute disaster.
And what makes you think then that fear has gone from what you see?
It's gone, definitely gone. Definitely gone. It's a different generation. I remember my first game for Manchester United, Man City away, we lost 1-0. At half-time, we're down 1-0 and I was walking off. And Reece sprinted by me, said, Owen, hurry up, get in the dressing room quick, the gaffer's going to go mental. And I thought, what? I'm tired, you know, I'm getting into the dressing room, right? But the fear that the gaffer had not created, but that Reece knew that could come. Yeah, and I hadn't experienced that. And I got in there, but remember, he was calm, wasn't he? He said, lads, you play well, you're unlucky to be down. But that Rio even knew that could come was kind of inspiring. We didn't want to let the boss down. That's how we play.
Do you really inspire young players, though, or modern players with fear?
That's a special talent of a manager. The best managers at the best clubs, they strike fear into you, but at the same time, they can get a performance out of you.
And they put their arm around you when they need to.
That's what the best ones do.
The best managers nowadays, listen, there is that element of fear. They obviously can coach players, etc. But somewhere near the top of that as well, that list of what you need is to be almost like a social worker. Somebody who can talk to the group, who can feed into certain players, not treat it all like a blanket environment. Treat players as individuals at times and who needs what, press the right buttons, and be there as a support mechanism as well, not just on football, on and off the pitch. Then you get players that are walking through brick walls for you.
OK. Well, after the break, we will hear from the man who at the moment is charged with leading this Manchester United, Ralf Rangnick. It's not been easy. Top 4 is...
What can you make of that display?
Well, I think we played a very good first half, exactly the way that we wanted to play. High energy level. Most of the game in the first half took place in their half. But unfortunately, we couldn't convert that energy into 1 or 2 goals. We hit the crossbar. We had another 1 or 2 good moments where we could have scored or should have scored, but we didn't. And then conceding that one counter-attacking goal short before halftime didn't make life any easier for us. And in the second half, it was difficult. I think I don't think that the game went for more than always interrupted. Somebody lying on the floor. I think also some curious refereeing decisions. I wouldn't say in the end that they were decisive, but at least he fell too often for those time-wasting antics. And in the end, 4 minutes extra time was just a joke for me. But anyway, very good first half. Second half, again, was difficult to find a rhythm again.
You threw, I've just been talking to David De Gea, you threw everything at them, 5 subs, one batter was on for Harry Maguire. So, I mean, you tried everything, you just couldn't unlock them. Was there a specific reason for that, apart from the Atletico?
Well, we know that they're good in defending leads when they're 1-0 up. We had 1 or 2 moments in the second half after set pieces, brilliant save by the goalkeeper after the header we had. But in total, we were fully aware that it's important against this team that you score the first goal yourself.
Their goal. Do you feel the defending was at fault? I mean, you're
ready for the weekend. They can still mathematically get into the top 4. It looks unlikely with where Arsenal and Tottenham are, but they can do it. You know, if they go on a good run and finish the season strong, they can. But the problem is that will, take a lot of air out of their sail tonight. Let's have a little look at the goal, including the foul in the build, or the alleged foul in the build-up to it. None of you at half-time felt that the foul should have been given.
I think firstly, this is a great up, back and through, old school. What a pass that is. You know how difficult that pass is to play with the weight. And then this from João Felix, beautiful. Right foot from Griezmann. Absolutely superb goal. Superb from attacking point of view. But defensively...
Yeah, they're all over the place, aren't they? Look, is it Varane that gets dragged out? Maguire's not really sure where to go. Darlow's the one who's got possibly 2 or 3 to look after. Alanga doesn't run back. And it's his man eventually who scores the goal.
But it's just in disarray though there. They're all over the place in terms of the back 4. Doesn't look like a back 4. It's the first moment he sees the player and his head's on the ball and it's in the back of the net before he can say anything.
And what about the foul and the build-up to it, Owen? What did you make of it?
I don't know. As a player, I played there. I wouldn't expect that to be given. I think he's already gone down. He's a little bit off balance. Maybe showing the fact there's a little bit of inexperience. You hope for that, but and that's pressure. You realise you're under pressure. Goal's gone in. Everybody's upset. The manager, Cristiano, but you're not going to get that. I don't think you're going to get that call in a Champions League game like this.
It's likely or possible no Champions League football next season here. What does that mean for this current squad, particularly those players they've bought who play football to play in this competition?
Well, as Owen said earlier, that this squad is going to be a lot of moving parts. Players out of contract, etc. Players that aren't going to be surplus as well to requirements because they've not maybe done good enough or hit the levels that they should do. And then I'm sure there'll be players coming in. And the recruitment's going to be key. But I think a key part of it is from top to bottom, from the owners, the people that are running the club, all the way through, is to start thinking, not commercially first. I think we've seen that a lot of time where there's a lot of talk and about commercially how well the club's done. You don't hear that at places like, we keep going back to it, it kills us to do it as Man United ex-players, but City and Liverpool, you don't hear them talking about the commercials. On the field drives everything. Get success right, challenge on the field, and everything else can breathe out of it. And that goes with the players as well. Get it right out there, and everything else takes care of itself outside the pitch.
And what about the power of communication? Do you want more from the Man United hierarchy about what the plan is, what they're doing, what's going on behind the scenes, or not?
I think that's up to them. We don't really know. They might have the manager already lined up. Who knows? I don't know. They might have already other players lined up. I don't think they have to tell fans. They don't have to tell people what they're doing, what they do. Their business. It's their business. That's how other clubs run. I just think once you've got a very good coach and a very good team, things just become so much easier. Behind the scenes, you don't hear anything. You don't hear anything coming out of dressing rooms because everything on the pitch, the most important thing in a football club, is going right. Now, this club on the pitch at the minute is a mess. So you're going to hear all this stuff about unrest in the dressing room, players aren't happy, players are storming out of training, players are refusing to turn up for games. And that's going to happen. And this is going to keep on happening until, I keep saying, they get the right coach. And until they get the right coach, who will settle the club down, he'll settle everything about the place down, on the pitch especially, but with that comes settling everything down behind the scenes. And they might not get it right this time, as I said before. Yeah. It might be another two or three times, I don't know. But they've got to try their very best to get the best man possible as soon as they can.
Yeah, and finally, what do you want to see from here till the end of the season from this Manchester United team?
Fight.
You got to fight. You got to stick together. Scholes, you mentioned all that stuff. Got to stop coming out of the dressing room. You got to stick together. It's an honour and a privilege to play for this football club. Show that these fans, want to support you. But Reid mentioned you got to put a shift in. So they got to show that on the pitch. It's there for them to finish in the top 4, and they got to do the job. That's the only way it happens.
Very good. Thank you all very much for your company this evening. Just to remind you that there's more from us tomorrow evening, more from the Champions League, including